and blah, blah, blah. It's being recorded, and this is what we're going to chat. And actually what I had for this week is something about the Photowalk, some new information for you guys. Some tutorials that I found this while I was waiting for some restaurant owners these days, and some Photoshop tips that I love them. And whenever I have something that I see, I try to bring to you guys. So if you guys have tips, ideas, or if you think it is too basic, just kick my butt and tell me, okay, move ahead for the next one. And first of all, mate, we have some really, really gorgeous pictures on the Facebook group from the photo walk we did. Thanks guys for sharing. I mean, so many beautiful pictures. Remy playing with the light as he does, and man, you have some really crazy shots there. Nick, this one from you was really, man, what an eye! That was fantastic. The guy in the
see
back,
the boy in the
man,
background?
that is mind blowing. That is
I love it.
great.
It's amazing.
The title is "Strong Woman, Weak Man."
Man, that is everything perfect. Yeah, the title, the photo, the case that you saw the guy there.
I loved it. She was,
mean,
you know, I saw her, of course, but then suddenly I saw the guy in the background, and that was it, of course.
Yeah, and to add to it, maybe the person didn't take the shoes off for a couple of months, and they had to block them in front of the door. So I mean, this is a really fantastic image. I really loved it, and we have a lot of them in the group. What I really felt sad is that we didn't really interact so much with the pictures. We need to find a way to
I agree.
Find some of them. Each one selects a couple of them and brings to the discussion, because there are so many gorgeous pictures there that are sitting too quiet for my liking. But let's see if we can improve that after the photo walk, because we have quite a lot of people saying they will come. Of course, it depends on the weather but usually we don't have so many people a week before the photo walk. Let's see how it goes. And speaking of the photo walk, I mean, all you four already saw this. This was just for somebody new, and to have it in the PDF. You guys already know we meet at 6:30 on Starbucks, and then at 7 we start walking towards the Freestyle Park. Thanks again, Lino, for the suggestion. People loved it.
No, it's a great place. If there is some sunshine, you know, it's great around 7:38. But we should hope that it doesn't rain.
Yeah, and if it rains, we can hide underneath a couple of bridges there. I still have quite some opportunities to play a little bit and make some shots. But if it is absolutely miserable on a forecast, then we might have to try to change the location. Otherwise, it's not so easy to find so many places. We can always go inside Zil City and try to make some photos until we are kicked out. But yeah, we will certainly find something. But yeah, the weather is going to be good. 10 days raining already, it's enough, yeah.
Is it, do we plan to, I mean, I'm not sure yet if I'm coming or not. I may have something else, but is it the plan to photograph like skaters, or is it the plan to bring someone and we can shoot or to do whatever? Basically, what's exactly the plan there?
That's an excellent question, and it's so good that I have a slide for that. I love it. I scheduled that with Remy, so you guys would be impressed. We already have 15 photographers that are confirmed, and this is going to fluctuate a lot. The 3 models below are already confirmed. I have asked maybe 8. And I still have at least 2 that I'm quite sure are going to confirm in the next days. And some others that, I mean, they might come or not, I'm not so sure. But I'm sure we will have some models. The people on the skate park, as Lino said, if we ask and if we speak to them, I'm quite sure we're going to have some very, very nice images there.
I mean, usually if you ask, you have just to send them some photos after, and they always accept. I made like this when I was there 2 times. I told to the guy, I will take some picture. I gave them my card, and I told them I will send you the photo as we did, and you know, it's okay.
Yeah, I think we can have some very nice street photos or some action shots with the people there skating or something. So I'm really quite happy with what we might be able to do there.
And the plan is to have the models like as well, or before or after, or like all together?
Mate, I think it's a little bit of all together. So
Okay.
if it is like it is now, 15 photographers for 3 models,
right.
it's better to have some alternatives. Otherwise, they're going to be overwhelmed and you're going to have to wait. So it's a little bit of everything. And we never stick too much together anyways. People just go roaming around and doing their business. So I'm guessing it's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Can I ask a question as well?
Of course.
I mean, what about those models? Are they like professional models, or are they just like random people, you know, or?
Specifically these 3, the guy in the middle, I found him through the meetups. He's absolutely not a model, but he's a nice guy. He's willing to come and have his picture taken. And we've done some photo walks with him in the past. And I mean, he's not professional, but if you coach him enough, you can get some cool shots from him. And he's absolutely open. I have some very nice pictures with him. He's always willing to experiment and do something crazy, so it's easy. I've put him in front of a door of a brothel, and the girl inside was looking to him, and he was making some funny things on the in front. I've made him do some funny things like he's in the picture, so he's absolutely all in. The one on the right, she's Tina's daughter. You two, Remy and Nick, you didn't meet her yet. Lino already met her. She's the blonde lady that was dancing all in red in some of the meetups. And this is her daughter, and she's starting to learn how to model, so you have to coach her a little too, but she's also very flexible and willing to do some crazy, stupid, funny things, so you can get some very nice things. And she's actually super excited because of the graffiti. She was waiting for some time to do something there, so I'm guessing we can do some nice things. The one on the left, she was suggested by Kurt, and he has already worked with her. I saw some of the pictures, and he spoke to her before speaking to me, and she was interested to know more photographers. And Kurt asked me, she's interested, may she come? And I said, I mean, do you need to ask me? Please bring everyone you want for the Photowalk or for the group, because this is our place. So she's very happy to participate too. I have never worked with her, so I can say a thing, but Kurt said she's really amazing to work with.
Cesar, sorry, do you know if she has got any photo on the social somewhere to have a look?
Yeah, that is something that I should have put here, their social profiles. I will update that, and I will send you guys the links with the I just need to find something to write. I'm not at home with my paper. Just a second, because I will forget that we said good night before I say goodbye. Yeah. So I will send you guys with the details. I will have, just so you guys know, that I always bring model releases, and I always assign everybody that takes part in the photo walk as a photographer as my assignees, and you are covered to do as it is in the model release. You can use it for non-commercial things freely. You cannot alter the images in a bad way, maybe look like they are in a porno movie or something wicked crazy. And if you do something commercial, you have to ask the model first. You have the right to do it as long as the person agrees to do it. And then you two have to agree on how you will share the profits, if there's any. So then we are keeping the same theme from the last time. It is 2. If you guys want to use the theme, go for it. If you guys don't want to use the theme, go for it too. So it's just for us to have fun. And you all know about where we should post them, so let's just skip this one. Something that we spoke last time is Weekend Photowalk. And what I did, I created a doodle. I don't know if all you guys know what a doodle is. It is a place where you can go and set a couple of dates that you have availability, and then we can try to match the date with the most people available. So I will have this link in all the materials maybe tomorrow evening, and you guys can go there and see when you are available, and hopefully we can get a good group to go and climb the mount that Remy was telling that was amazing.
Sure, good. I mean, accessible with public transport is I don't know if you guys have cars, but if we have like few people who have a car, let's say like 2 or 3, perhaps we can easily go by car and share.
Yeah, this is very, very nice if we can do that, and for certain we will do that and do some sharing for the rides. But I think it has to be somewhat accessible with public transport, because maybe not everybody is going to come from a region where we can meet. So even if it is until the cable car or something, it should be accessible. There is nothing stopping us from doing another one with just a limited set of people with cars and, I don't know, going crazy with it. This is just to be a little bit more open and to publish on the Meetup platform. I think it is better that we have some way to get there with the train or whatever.
Okay, cool.
And my idea was trying to bring some models, and then we can play with models, landscape, and whatever. Lino also said that he could take some of his pro photos, and that is just another amazing opportunity that we might have depending on where, the weather, and from a lot of things.
The only things on the pro photo is that I've got the remote control for Nikon and Leica.
Okay, we can buy a Leica to go there and shoot. Yeah.
No, I mean, you know, if somebody's using a Sony or something like, I mean, they cannot talk with the lamps in their flash.
Okay.
But Nikon, I've got the remote control.
Depending on how it goes, I also have Valimax that has like a standard controller that goes for everything, and we can try to mix a little bit, and I mean we will find a solution.
Yeah, going back to the model, you know, I've got this idea that I would like to put in place with you guys. I mean, usually photographers that use the same model take the picture of the model like they want, they see, they feel, you know. I think that if we concentrate, all of us, to take the picture of the models, thinking to have some, let's say, as I told you, exhibition or book or magazine, something like that, we can take the picture of the same people, but on a very different way. It's a very interesting exercise that we usually do with the colleague, you know. And this is really something that is not commercial. It's only done for our pleasure. No? If I look at the young lady to the left of the screen, you know, she sure has got a very nice face. Now it depends if she knows how to pose, etc. But she can really be someone that can be interesting for this kind of exercise. That means we can stay alone taking our picture, or we can take the picture when somebody else is taking picture. But as we see the model, I mean, you know, it's something that I think for the group, for the people, I think it could be very interesting.
I love the concept, and I also would like to have something, your idea and a little more. I think we should do an exhibition at some point, and we might try to add it like a magazine or a book from the things we've done during the year with the meetup. So we would have like an end of year publication of some sort.
That's why, in fact, all the photos that we made should have, you know, a common concept.
And then we can in the end of the year, for example, just get everybody together and do a celebration of some sort. I think this would be really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, because I mean, it's a good time now to take portrait of people because everybody wants to meet people. So portrait can be the real way to end the quarantine. You know, more than landscape or something like that. That now I'm taking picture of landscape since 4 months. And it's really something that it's good, it's great, huh? But you know, what I like is to stay in touch with people. So
Yes, of course.
it's incredible how people react when you take picture on the road. Actually, you know, all the people that I shoot on the road, actually, they look me through the mask, you know, with the eyes like this, and you see the eyes looking at me very worried. Huh?
And it's funny because nobody can see if you are smiling, if you're being so
Yeah,
friendly. So it's really weird. Yeah.
yeah, but it's great. I mean, the reaction is always interesting, especially in Sweden. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Ciao, Antonio.
So
Sorry,
I'm sorry for the delay. So it was also so late, but
No,
I just got to Zurich.
I'm going to have to charge you double for this session. Yeah.
Antonio.
All good with you, Antonio?
All good, all fine. Yeah, except the weather was not in some places as good as I'd like, but apart from that, I think it's all okay.
I think this is something that's still not going away so easy. Yeah, hopefully until next Thursday we'll have something better. And I will share with you afterwards, Antonio, some things about the Photowalk and this exactly on this slide. This is something for the Photowalk that we are trying to arrange for a weekend. So the link here is something that you can go there and check the dates in which you would be available. And
so this is nothing to do to Thursday, no?
No. Thursday is all set. Is on that place, the skate park close to Steel City. Everything stays the same. This is something for probably around August or something like that.
Do you mind to share it on the message so we can just click it?
I will do everything. You have all the links tomorrow evening. I'll have it posted. All the links will be available, and
perfect.
I'll share with you guys.
Okay.
And this is something I saw like 10 minutes before the start of the meeting. Adobe just updated some of the software. So if you guys are in the Creative Cloud version, plan, there are some new things there. To be honest, I didn't try most of it. Something I saw here that for me is actually good is this auto-activate Adobe fonts, because it was really a mess. Yeah, I had to all the time that I was in a new computer, go there, download the font. So I'm hoping it works better. I never understood why I had to go to all this trouble to do something that should be automatic. It looks like it will be now. They say they can understand a little bit better what font is in the picture. You can see that on bottom left. Maybe it's a little small, Antonio, sorry for that. So it should be able to identify some fonts better, because when I tried this tool in the past, it was not the best. Many times I had issues. And they say they have amazing hair selection. This is something that as soon as we hang up, I'm going to try. I didn't have the time to do it, but I'm going to try, because hair was always a mess to mask. Well, this is strange to say, a mess to mask, but hopefully they got a better algorithm to it. And this is just absolutely fresh for me. I saw that 10 minutes before. And for Lightroom, besides this amazing new logo that now nobody is going to confuse Lightroom Classic with Lightroom Shitty. Lightroom, I don't even know how the other one is called. So yeah, they have performance improvements, which I'm really trying to see since the last, 10 new releases, because they always say they're making it faster, but my Lightroom always lags. This is something that I saw on the tests, that they would do some better things with the tone curve and some color tools, that they would look better. What I just saw is that if you go for the brush tool or something else, you have an option to fine tune, which is the next one, the local hue adjustment tool. You can fine tune a little bit more of the tones. I couldn't play with it still, but I saw there's a new slider on the tool, so I'm really looking forward to see how it goes. And I mean, there are some other things here. Centered crop overlay. You have another overlay now for the crop to add to the other 22 that you had and didn't use. Now you have one that shows the center, and more presets and. So my favorite is the other enhancements. This is present in all their new features and says absolutely nothing. But okay, this is just fresh. And I didn't have so much time to look for goodies for us to watch this time, but I did find a couple. Since we started last time speaking a little bit more of composites, and this is a theme that I quite like. I don't have the time to do as much as I would like, but this amazing guy has a tutorial exactly about that released this last week, and he goes a lot into the selection of the subject. But the main thing for him in this video is how to better color match, which makes or breaks the composite, because if it looks artificial, it doesn't really work. I don't know if you guys are really into some photoshopping, extreme photoshopping like this, but this is something I really like to place now and then. And what he teaches in this tutorial is really nice, as usual, because he's amazing. And this other guy, I don't remember if I ever mentioned it to you guys, because he's an amazing teacher. I don't know, PHLEARN. Why did he do that? I think it should be Photoshop Learn. And I mean, he's an amazing teacher. He has tons and tons and tons of videos. And this one specifically is one of the latest. And he shows a lot on how you could remove tattoos, glare, and I quite like the way he teaches. And he has some very good tips for the way you select, for using the pen tool. So if you guys are into that, he's a very good teacher, and this video is very nice. And this other one, it gave me some ideas actually. I didn't use gradients the way he showed here, and it opens quite some opportunities that you can do some, this photo that he used as a thumbnail, it's actually a regular photo. The sun is really in the back and not doing much, but then he used a gradient to do a little bit of, and played with the blending mode, and it makes a lot of a difference. So for landscapes, you can achieve some very good results, and the way he uses the gradient is very clever. So if you guys have the time, he's a very, very good teacher.
I mean, I don't know if it's a good question to ask, but not especially about this guy in general, but how do you guys feel about, it's maybe more of a philosophical question to some extent, about adding or changing or using a lot of Photoshop in your pictures. I personally, I used to learn a lot of Photoshop, and then at some point I got bored of it because I was creating only fake stuff, and then I stopped it. That was when I started doing photography. Then I got more serious about what I'm doing and trying to really do. And then of course I'm doing landscape. I mean, not of course, but I'm doing landscape. And then I would feel guilty if on some of my pictures, if, for example, I replace the sky because I have because the picture I took is only with the blue sky, and I want to see some clouds and just add some clouds, I would feel really guilty of doing this because I know that in the end it's not something that I saw and that I experienced and that I really took in pictures. And I just want to know what you guys think about this.
I agree. I feel the same. I agree with you, Remy. Yeah.
Okay.
I let you know my point of view on that. I mean, there is a huge difference between painter and photographer. I mean, photographer is the one that take the moment in front of his eye using a camera. It can be good, it can be not so good, it can be blind, you know, but anyway, he take that moment. Painters is somebody that imagine what is in front of him. And when we, you know, last time when we have seen that tool, I don't remember the name of the guy who was showing us, with all the effect, the light.
Daniel showed us, yeah.
I mean, you know, that is, to me, that is computer graphic art. It's not photography.
Yeah.
I say, I am not saying I don't like it.
Yeah, no,
it's
for sure.
something that is incredible and that I am not able to do at all. Because I'm really basic. I've got Photoshop and Lightroom. Lightroom to develop the digital, let's say, image, and Photoshop to do something more about the frame.
Yeah.
But usually I don't like, I mean, I use tools that give me the possibility to do a batch development of 100 photos together. When I decide which is the light, which is the mood that I want to give to a reportage. But then when we talk about computer art, is not my field. I respect who does this kind of things because you should be able to do that, and I'm not at all. But to me, photography is something different. Photography is something that is that particular idea you have got of what you see, then you shoot, and then you see the, you know, also I've got my archive that is only in paper. I print each photo because when you want to do an exhibition or when you want to create a book, you cannot do it on the computer. I mean, you should take the picture in front of you on the floor, and then you have to start to work for weeks, you know, to understand how to put two pictures together.
Yeah.
This is something that, that's why I'm pushing a little, you know, to say, let's try everybody to take the same subject with a different point of view. Because then you will see that it's an amazing exercise to see how we show on a completely different way the same things. You know. On computer graphic, I can change eyes, I can put hair, I can do everything. It's not photography.
So, but photography is capture an image that exists. The other one is creating an image that you imagine.
Yeah,
that's
not photography. Right.
You should give some. You should give some. You can change a bit the photography, but you change totally. Like some I see, for instance, in Guru shots. That's not photography anymore. That's painting. You know, but a lot of people likes it. So
sometimes you take a great picture on the road, but there is one foot that just enter in the frame, and you don't want to see this foot because you know, now you have two possibilities: go to Photoshop and cancel the foot, or leave the foot like it is, if you are sure that your picture is good. Because if you think that your picture is not good enough, no point. I mean, you know, you can change, you can do whatever you want. But if you really trust your picture, the point of your idea, the point of your frame, I mean, nobody can say to cancel that foot. You know.
So, Lino, I disagree. I have to say I disagree. Because we as photographers, we always, we don't take, you said a photographer takes like a picture of reality or something, but and I see your point, but you always do something to your picture. I mean, it's kind of a representation of something that is the interaction of what you see with your eyes, but also what the camera does and what you do with the camera, and that's like the art part of it. And like many great photographers have done retouching, dodging and burning, cropping, masking, whatever. So I kind of disagree. I think both processes have their own right. So either saying I really try to picture like in a reporter photography style, I try to stick to reality as much as possible, still interpreting reality, of course, that's part of taking a picture or doing something with your environment. But I'm fine actually with also the other approach, saying I want to create something that only I see. And then adding things, well, maybe with adding things, I kind of agree with you. I wouldn't add actually too much. I would rather take out dodge and burn, things like that. So
Yeah,
I mean, you
so
know,
I'm
But,
somewhere
but
in between both of
everybody
you.
agrees that is something. It's just one is picture, is a photo. The other is more a paint. It's just a, how do you
yeah,
call it?
I mean, you know, my point of view doesn't exclude, let's say, the other one. Okay,
Exactly.
it's a completely different way to me, uh, to see what a photographer does. Yeah, I mean, just going back to the foot that is in the middle of your picture. Okay, if you go to an editor because the picture should be published, the first thing he will tell you, okay, you have a choice, guy, or you cancel the foot, or we don't buy your picture.
I see what
Okay,
you're
in
saying.
that case, I cancel the foot. Okay, because okay, but for my pleasure of as photographer,
But you have no choice.
ever, I will change nothing on my picture, you know. But when you have got in front of you somebody that is saying, okay, this picture was better with a red sky, and your sky actually is just a simple blue, you know, surely one of the tools that we see can help us. But we are talking about profession. It's like if you, you know, you work with a very stupid manager on your head, and you have to say yes, man, yes, man, yes, man. This is, you know, that's life, no? But to me, guy, okay, photography should be a pleasure. That means I will never change, you know, my wife teeth. Let's say, you know, because I stay with somebody that I like she is. It's the same of an image. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was waiting for everybody to express their feelings and opinions, but I am really divided because I understand and I like to try to capture as it was. Uh, but I have an issue, and then I agree a lot with Nick because what you guys are saying that okay, that was just capturing what was there. It's actually already changing a little because you went there and you selected what you wanted to portray. So it wasn't exactly what was there. And then you guys go to Lightroom, capture one Daniel or wherever, and then if you as much as touch any kind of slider there, you are already changing your picture. I mean, this guy here, this is a book from Ansel Adams. He is, I mean, the granddaddy of us all, right? And he changed a lot. He wasn't showing what he saw. He's showing his vision of what was there. And I mean, this is something great. And if you have pleasure altering it or not, then go for it. I mean, this is a free world. I mean, it should be at least. You go there and you have fun with what you do. But then to answer your question, Remy, I have two different sides. Some of the things I go there, I capture them as well as I could on that situation, and then I try to improve a little bit. But I also think in some points, and I do it much less than I would like, that I would like to just do a little bit of a concept. But then it is a completely, I agree with you, Antonio, it's a completely different thing. You go there and you capture something considering the Frankenstein that you're going to build. So I see validity in all of the different ways you can express your creativity and do as much crazy things as you can. But this is a tough argument because uh, we are always changing what we see. A little, a lot, but we are always changing. But I see sometimes some crazy things on Instagram or whatever that people just go there and they go flipping through filters until they find something that they think that will fix a bad photo and make it interesting. And I also see people that go there and they just crank the contrast and they go there on the. Did you guys ever know that you can go with man, I need to sleep more. I forgot the name of the tool in Lightroom that you go for the clarity. Did you guys know that you can go to 500% clarity because some people do it? And they just go there and crank clarity all the way up and you look at it, okay, this came from the 300 movie or some other different thing. So I have issues when it is not to my taste, but then it's not my taste. but yeah, there's in a way or another, it's some sort of expression, and taste is something difficult to. I mean, the only person that has good taste is yourself, because it matches what you like.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, photography is great. Is a great way to see the life. You know, I would never ever say this picture is not good, but I can say I don't like this picture.
Of course.
Yeah.
And this is the most freedom you can have. I mean, you know, that's why I say I will never say, oh, this picture that has been photoshopped a lot, etc. It's very rubbish, blah blah blah. No, never ever. But I can say I don't like it. Like everybody can say, oh shit, that foot in the middle of the frame is really a disaster. I mean, you know, but
Somebody's going to be able to call that art. Yeah, no, the foot was placed exactly on the point of the golden circle's way to crop the thing.
you know,
Yeah.
usually when somebody say to me, "Oh, it's a pity that that guy is just in the middle of the picture," I answer, "Oh, you don't know how long I stay to wait that that guy was coming just in that point." And so when you say something like that, people look at you like a crazy guy. Say, "Okay, he's a crazy. I cannot continue to speak with him." I mean, you know. So that's it.
Yeah, but I think this is a great discussion to have, and it's really nice to see the point of view and everything. But I totally agree. So many times we see things that go overboard, and if people don't really know what they stand for, what they like, I mean, this is where you go a little bit lost. So you start as to represent the landscape, but in the end, you go too crazy. You just don't put the gnomes there. So yeah, I mean, you should be able to know where you stand, and but I am more into what you said, Remy. I don't really go crazy with the changes, but yeah, it's impossible not to change a little bit.
I mean, it's nice to give first to have your own signature. I think to be able to make the picture as you like and as you want it to be, because because it's in the end you have to do something that you love. So if you can change it to some extent, but making it like crazy, like some of them I see, like even it can be very beautiful. Some guys are like really. There is one Swiss guy who does an amazing job. I mean, he's doing like even his pictures at the end look more like drawings than anything else. So he's spending like a lot of time on his pictures. But is this really what I want to do? Probably not. You know. And yeah, after it depends what you love, what you really want to do.
Yeah. What I see sometimes is what I used to call evil HDR. You know, people go there and just start clicking some crazy buttons, and then in the end you see that, okay, this is some abstract way of art, maybe, because I don't understand it at all. But yeah, it's a difficult situation, because maybe the person liked, I mean, the person must like it because he posted it. So yeah, it's different taste, let's say. Let's say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is even better than exchanging tips with you guys. I mean, these chats are really very nice to have. So whenever we have a topic that is going to bring some really heated conversations, I mean, this is something I would love, especially if we could go to a pub, grab some beer, right, Nick? We're missing your beer today.
No beer today.
Uh,
No,
Just water. Yeah.
too bad.
I didn't earn it enough today.
Oh, wow. So yeah, this is something I really love to have us chat about some of these topics anytime. And this week I brought again something from CreativeLive, because I did see this red arrows. There's something that might be interesting. First, on the top right, color theory. For the geeks among us, this is something very nice to understand and to see how you can make more impact or make people disgusted with your pictures. This is a guy that I had never heard his name, who's going to speak of color theory. I don't know how deep can it be on one day, but it's always a topic that I am interested. In the middle, the top arrow is for Nick and Remy at least, and maybe Lino. Some guy that I never heard is going to talk about prints. And you two said you were interested on that. And maybe you can leave the camera recording the screen and try to watch it later, because the timing is not great for us. Because this 9 a.m., I'm not so sure. I think it is Pacific time, but it stays online for at least 48 hours. So you guys could grab some things there. If you want to see something about models, I mean, it was Ed who mentioned that he wanted to learn a little bit more. So I brought this here. But I don't know if you guys are really interested in learning more about working with models. But if you ever wanted to see something about people photography, this guy is absolutely phenomenal. He's one of the top 3 sources I ever tried to learn from. How to direct people, how you can get some great results with people photography. Peter Hurley, he's absolutely famous, insanely expensive, and he has a lot of trainings, and he developed his own lights and everything. So he's a very nice guy to see talking. He's fun. He's really unter Strom all the time. He's always saying things and doing things and screaming and creating words and everything. So he's a very nice guy to watch. If you guys have the time, it's surely a very nice lecture to watch, even though it's probably just one day, and he's going to sell his slides, his books, and his trainings, but he's an amazing guy. I cannot recommend him enough. And about the tips, I tried to bring you guys some tips for today, but it's already 8:35. I'm going nowhere after this, so if you guys have the time, let's stick around. I know Nick said he has a little bit of time constraints, so if you guys want to play a little with the tips, I brought some other things that I really like. You need to go, Nick.
I will leave, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks so much, but it was very, very nice seeing you.
You too, my friend.
To next week and to the
Take care.
Photowalk.
Yeah, that's next week is only on Thursday. We don't have the Tuesday, okay? Yeah. It's only on Thursday.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
See you then, my friend.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Have a great evening.
Thanks for organizing. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
And thanks for the question, Remy. I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, about what is allowed to do, what not. I love it.
So for the following week, Nick, for the following week, you have to come up with a question to bring to the group.
I try. Okay.
Thanks,
care,
mate. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye, Nick.
So, guys, what the first tip that I was trying to bring you, and I only brought Photoshop, so if anybody doesn't really like Photoshop too much, it's going to be boring as hell. But the first one that I tried to bring you to you guys is that you can actually zoom to a layer or select the content of a layer. So I brought this image. The image itself is going to be small. No worries. Don't worry too much about that. I will try to make the layers as big as I can, because then I can try to make you guys see them a little bit better. I have to go and try to make it a little bit, okay, wrong panel. Try to make it as big as I can so you guys can see it a little bit better. Hopefully you can have an idea that at least it's a layer there. Don't worry about the content. So I tried to bring a document that has quite some layers to it, so it's easy to get lost and have a lot of trouble trying to find, select, and do something to the layers. And if anybody is curious, this is a beach flag that I did for my bar when we were still allowed to do the festivals. So if you want to come to one specific layer and you want to select the contents of that layer, or if you want to come and zoom to that layer, to that specific layer. So this is just a written Mojito. If I want to zoom to that layer, I can hold Alt or Option and click on the layer, double click on it, and it's going to zoom to that specific part. It is the Mojito that is written underneath it. So if I wanted to zoom to Caipirinha, for an example, hold Alt or Option, Oh, sorry, I clicked it too much and there's something else opened. And then you can just alt click and then it zooms to this specific layer. So if I go back to something big and do it again, it is going to zoom to that one. And if you want to select the content of this layer, instead of Alt or Option, you hold Control or Command and click, and it's going to select the content of that layer. So I'm going to unselect it or deselect it if I spoke proper English. And then I'm going to try the same with another one. For example, coming here to Mojito again, or Caipirinha, and it selects the content.
So it's command and click, or it's
to select, it is command click.
Okay.
To zoom, it is alt click. Mm-hmm. And I will have everything, if I can find which is the correct one. Sorry, I'm absolutely lost here. So you have it back. It will be on the PDF. So you have all the shortcuts or the tips. I'm going to talk with you guys here. And hopefully it is command, because I don't remember. It's a while since I used Photoshop on a Mac.
Yeah, it should be. It's command.
And just a quick other one that you guys might use. If you want to have hide all other layers except for this one, if you hold Alt and click the eye, it is going to have all other layers hidden except for this one. And if you do it again, it is going to get it back to where it was. So maybe this is a better example. I mean, no, it's selecting the group is off. Yeah. So you can make in a way that you can only see exactly this one or everything, just holding the Alt and clicking the eye. So it's an easy way to see what you had, especially because here each layer is a piece of the lemon that or the lime that goes in this beach flag. So this was quite useful when I tried to see what it was and how I was moving it around. So this is it. This was the first one. I mean, this is where you should click when you hold the modifier and click. This is the area you should click on it. And this one is, I don't know why I have 2 times. I mean, it's so important that I had it 2 times. And okay, this is another one. If you are zoomed way in, maybe you had it way into something and you want to get it back to 100%, you do Control or Command 1 and it goes to 100%, or you could do Control 0 or Command 0, it goes to fit screen. It works also with Control Alt 0. This is not in the, okay, this is still here, yeah. And this is something that is quite nice. I didn't know I could use this until sometime, maybe a couple of years ago. And it actually is very helpful, especially if you want to pick one specific color from, I don't know, from a brand, and you want to do something that relates to their logo, and you can grab exactly that color. To show you guys how you can do that, I'm going to put Photoshop to the side, and I'm going to have on the side, maybe you guys, why not? And I come here on Photoshop and I select the color picker with the eye or clicking here. And then you can see if Photoshop would work. You guys should probably have a difficult time to see. There's the color picker, the eyedropper actually.
No, zero.
And if I click here inside Photoshop, you guys can see it is selecting the color of whatever I select. Oh, sorry, it is just the current layer on the sample. Sorry, I was doing some stupid thing before that, current and below. So now you guys can see it is sampling whatever I go through. But if I go outside of Photoshop, it becomes the regular cursor. But if I want to pick, for an example, the color of Remy's painting on his wall, This is something I could do. Maybe I want to do something with the color of the logo of that brand, or I want to copy the color of his background. I come back to Photoshop, I click, I hold it clicked, and I drive outside of Photoshop, go to Remy's painting, and if you guys look at here, I selected the color of his painting. If I want to capture Antonio's window or the Aurora Borealis that is behind him, I can do the same and just come here and select. You guys can see here, it changed to his curtain. So this is something that is not always very useful, but when you have the use for that, it's really nice. So let me get Photoshop out of the way. And the next one, this is something I use a lot. You can create a second version of almost everything on Photoshop. You can duplicate almost whatever you want, layers, masks, effects. So how this works, if you hold Alt or Option, if you are on a Mac, while you are dragging, it will make a second, or I mean, let's start from the beginning. I will use one with less layers. So if I come here, I can always make a second version of it. If I do Command or Control J, it makes a copy. But if I do it here with Alt, I can come here and just drag it around. So it created another copy. But I can do that also with the effects. If I want to come here and copy the effects from this layer to the layer below, I hold Alt, I drag the effects, and now this layer has also effects on it. If you had a mask here, I'll just put a random mask here. I will do something stupid to fill it. And I will put a black thing exactly in the middle. Maybe you guys can see that. And if I want to copy this this mask somewhere else, I can just hold Alt and copy it to the layer below. If I am here on the effects, I already showed you guys, it can be an adjustment layer. It can be basically almost everything on Photoshop. If you drag with Alt or Option, you can make a second version of it. So I lost, okay, now back. Something that for me is sometimes useful, because so many times I went to, let's go back to Photoshop. I would come to one image and I would come here and create a mask, and then I would invert that mask, and then I will paint white wherever I wanted to show. What you guys can do to make it a little bit easier, when you are going to create a mask, hold again Alt or Option and create the mask. It will already create the mask with a hide instead of a show effect in it. So it saves you 2 clicks, but if you're editing a lot of images and many layers or many masks, it is really an easy way to save some clicks. This is something I use a lot. I don't know if it is useful for you guys at all. So let me just, removed too much. If I come here and I create another, this is not going to be the best example of all. So let me just create a layer mask here, because it has not so many. So not doing what I wanted to do with it. What is going on here? Why it's hidden, stupid. Yeah, sorry for that. So if I come here and I create one adjustment layer, let's go just for levels and do something that is quite obvious. If I do it like this, sorry, it has the, now if I create this adjustment layer, as you guys can see, it is affecting everything. I hope you guys can see it there.
Yeah.
It is affecting both sides of the image. If I want to make it a clipping mask, and that means this layer is going to affect only the layer underneath it, you can come here, right click, create clipping mask, which is somewhere here. I don't even know where. Here, create clipping mask. Or there's a much quicker way to do that. You can come on the line that divides both layers. If you hold Alt, it is going to become this symbol, which is going to be very difficult to see on your screens probably. But if you just click it there, it already becomes, or it transforms into a clipping mask. So it is only going to affect the layer underneath it. I use this a lot when I want to put some sort of, I want to make some changes and I want them to happen only to the layer beneath it. So this is really an easy way to create this kind of clipping mask.
Do you have a third way of doing it?
Sorry?
You also have a third way of doing it?
Please, please.
If you get back to it, it's pretty easy. You see your your graph there, up there?
Up here.
Yeah, just below it.
Right here.
Yeah, here you can just click on it and that does as well. For those, I didn't know your trick. I knew this one, but I didn't know the shortcut actually. And that's exactly the same.
I must tell you, I never saw this icon here. Good one, thank you. I never saw it.
3 ways to do the same thing. So
I mean, Photoshop has, I don't remember the number, but it is in 2 previous meetings. It was there. It's like, it has a million ways to do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's always somebody who's going to come up with something clever than you had thought. And you already thought, okay, I do this in a cool way. There's always somebody who knows a much better way to do it in Photoshop. And then where is it again? So this is the clipping layer. This is also a very nice one. And this is new to the previous version of Photoshop, as far as I understand it. Let's say this image is crooked. The horizon is not exactly right. I'm going to reduce it a little bit so you guys can see. So if I come to the crop tool and I want to adjust it a little bit, and this is a tiny bonus, if you hold Control or Command, it turns into this little level icon, which is probably very tiny also. And then you can drag a line to whatever you think it is horizontal, like this, or something that you know it is vertical. So you could also do it here, and it's going to fix the horizon for you. But what happened when I fix the horizon? I lose a couple of pixels here because it has nothing to fill that image. I can always come here and crop it out. But if I don't want to do that, if I don't want to miss, for example, this amazing building on the side, I can just come here and select on the top. It's going to be really tiny, but I have it on the PowerPoint for you guys. If you select here the content aware while you are on the crop tool, which is this little guy here. For some reason, it just went away. I don't know what I did wrong. It was here until now. Let me just cancel that. I promise it worked. Because I'm on the layer mask. I'm on the adjustment layer and not on the actual layer. So let's try that again. Just create a line here. And then I go to content aware. And what the computer is trying to do as I confirm this crop, it is going to try to invent, to create the pixels to fill those empty areas. And if I delete the layer mask and this one, you guys can probably not see so well. Okay, it really created the pixels to fill. The building was amazing. The sky was really nice. But if you compare to the original, even the trains are okay-ish, but the tracks, it's going to be a derailment because here on the bottom left is really not that good. As you guys can probably see now, it was a little crazy. But if you look to the sky, is amazing. The building is not bad at all. And the trains are not so good. You can see there are some crazy things here. You can always crop, leave it open, leave it blank, and go into the content aware fill, and then work with the tool. But then for some simple things, this might be way faster than that. Do you guys use the new content aware tool with all the options you have to it? It is really amazing. It's really getting really good.
I only have a Node version from Photoshop, so I'm not really
okay. I'll try to bring something
which works well, but I don't really.
I'll bring it on the next one. But since you don't really alter the images too much, this is not going to be the most amazing thing for you.
So, sorry, Cesar. No, I wanted to go back. Before you show Photoshop desktop, what was before? Something about the font you said.
Ah, the new things about Photoshop, you mean?
Sorry if I go back to, but
no worries.
That one was, I mean, I usually use the font when I made my book, etc. So, but is the Photoshop? I mean, what is Photoshop desktop? What do you mean when you say Photoshop desktop?
So you mean this screen now that they said that they have the two things related to fonts. Now they if you have a font in your file that is not in your computer, it will try to find and add automatically if it is available in Adobe fonts and if you have the CC subscription.
Okay.
And the second thing that is interesting to me, because many times I need to do something for clients and I don't know which font they use. So I go there, try to find exactly their font, and then I write everything that I do in their font. This is some personalization that I do for some clients that I work for. And sometimes it's really difficult. I have to go online and use a lot of different sites to try to find the correct font because Adobe has a match font that was not the best tool in the past. So what they say here, and I didn't test it still, is that it is much improved now. So you could go there and just select one font in an image and it should tell you what font is that or some very, very close approximation to that font.
Okay, but anyway, it's Photoshop 2020, release 21.2.
Yeah,
it's
this
the
is
one that I just updated on my computer.
Exactly, yeah, you have everything there if you have the CC subscription.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah.
So then we are on the slide number something. Okay, this is it. It's 23. So this is the content aware that we just saw. And I mean, this is the last of the tips I brought you guys. Man, I'm really going to transform into a Swiss guy. It is 8:57 and I scheduled this to end on exactly at 9. So yeah, not bad. Absolutely lucky, but not bad. So this was the last of the tips I brought to you guys. So first question to you guys, what do you think of this idea of different tips? Do you like it? Is it too basic, too nonsense? Because it only makes sense if you guys like it.
No, but I mean, you know, to me, as you understood, I'm not using these tips too much, but it's always interesting, you know, because sometimes I never say never. I mean, you know, sometimes
and you need to know what is around, so
you know
exactly, the options you have.
No, and also this is, I think, Cesar, the idea to meet, you know, because to learn new things. I mean, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, I think we should be probably all participating or all proposing. Maybe if we know some stuff that that may be a bit tricky on some software that we use, could be interesting. But yeah, I mean, in general, I like the idea and it's useful.
Thank you. And sometimes it doesn't even need to be something very specific or very different or very, I mean, sometimes the very basics that we use on a day-to-day basis are not exactly basic for so many other people. There are some things that you take for granted because you have edited so many photos. Then you come here and you share. And if it is just simple, okay, it's nice to have, thank you for sharing again, but maybe you're going to make a lot of people's days much easier. So if you guys have any wish to share something, don't be afraid, okay, this is not so cool. Please just come and this is supposed to be our space to do it. If you have any ideas, I'm really happy that you guys would come and share them.
Yep.
So the only thing that I had left is that we have next week, we won't have the Tuesday chat, but we have the photo walk on the 25th.
Yep.
I am still trying to arrange a way to make our studio session happen. Some of the models are still not exactly back, but I'm going to still come back with this because this is something we discussed like 2 or more meetings ago. And it would be really nice to make that happen. And maybe we can just arrange some random time to come here to the studio or whatever we want and just do one of these live. So now we are allowed again. I can organize some drinks or some things that we can just share and try to have maybe another discussion about photography and altered photography or something like that, or something fun, whatever. I'm really open, and this should be an open place for all of us. There's no point of me staying here alone, and we could use it in a much better way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So if you guys have anything to add or something that we could use on the other meetings, otherwise I really look forward to meeting you guys on the next Thursday during our photo walk.
Yeah, it will be a pleasure to meet physically.
Exactly, yeah, definitely.
I can join, I will.
Yeah.
Really also looking forward to it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great evening,
you.
and
Have a
see
good
you
evening.
guys personally next week.
Thanks a lot,
Thursday.
guys.
Thank you. Have a good week all.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Ciao.